I got a better place to set my phone from now on whenever I'm playing a game. So it might be a little better, but I'm still talking as loud as I can because it's not directly towards me. So yeah. I don't even know what I should call this. What if Deku was in a fantasy land? I have no clue. Honestly, I don't even know what to call it, man. It's pretty good though. You guys might be like, come on, hurry up and get to the good stuff, but we only have about either 2 more episodes or 3. I'll probably make a 3rd episode though. So, Deku. He's traveling through the lava land to the Hellhounds. I'm sorry, my nose got stuffed up for some reason. So and while they're going, Deku would run into Hell's golems, or pretty much just lava golems, or what they are. But yeah, they're just upgraded versions of them, of the regular golems. So yeah. They have a fire ability. It's not really lava, I'll just tell you that. It's just them superheating their stones to kind of a really high point, and that causes it to look like lava. So they're most likely more like fire golems than anything. Which their fire is nothing to compare to the Hellhounds. The Hellhounds, I just have to state this, their flames are probably a little around blue flames endeavors, and that was enough to burn Anoma's head completely off to nothing. So their flames are around literally cremation levels. And oh yeah, people are going to be stronger in this if you're thinking I'm going to make overpowered Deku, which people do like overpowered Dekus, but I'm going to level it out a little bit. But yeah. So he would be Deku. Deku would be gonna fight them. Deku is immune to a high volt of fire, but Hellhound's fire is on a totally different level. Or no, this is not Hellhound's. I would say these ones are still harder than him, that he can handle, but compared to his flames, but because of his defense from regular golems he got, it gave him a hand to survive these attacks instead of getting cremated, pretty much. So yeah, he survived. And the golems have special abilities. Lava rock, explosions, or detonate, more like it, exploding itself. But it can reform because golems have the ability to call parts of itself back together. And all that. But yes, another ability is that Deku's gonna, or what it can do. It's pretty much like Firebolt, but like a really high degree of it. But yeah. Well, did I actually disable that whole thing? Bro, I'm awesome. I just took down a tank with a gun and my C4 aims my stuff. I guess it was about to be destroyed. And I guess they tried to move, but it still counted for my kill. Oh my god, did I just get vinegar in my eye? Hello guys, it's me. I'm officially blind. Just kidding, I can still see. That would suck. But yeah, of course it would suck. What am I even talking about? Oh no, I'm tripping on some more devil's lettuce, everybody. But yeah, so Deku would be attacking them, and they were whenever one of them used detonate, it would form tinier golems who would latch onto Deku, holding him down, and melting to the ground, holding him down by like a rock melt, where you can't move. Because of this, Deku would start panicking. He's like, what am I supposed to do? And he takes his water, and what he does is that he makes a water. This is kind of like a water circular shape, and would have hit it a couple times with the swirling water, and it would cool down all the heat, which would give it time to reform in other ways. And once it reforms, it causes it, or he would break it and he would launch it off, and it won't be like a magma golem anymore. It'll just be a regular golem. Because of this, Deku would be able to figure out how to destroy them easily, is by turning them back into a normal version of it. And because of that, he can destroy them, gaining quite more firepower, and now he's immune to their fire. But yeah. Since he's immune, he would just charge at them. And whenever he charges, he would just be breaking them, and he would create his water sword, or he would cover his sword in water, making a crystallized version, not crystallized, but like a blade sort of on top of it, making a blue blade is what it would turn it into, which would it's not ice, but it's still water. It's like waterized metal, I guess. Can't really explain it. Just think of like solid water, but it's still water. That probably doesn't even make sense. But yeah. But this would let him be able to slice through these things and cool them down at the same time. And because of this, he would have an easier time just knocking down these things. He would just be taking them down left and right until he would get to the Hellhound's lair. He had to trek out a volcano to get there, and he has to jump. He's been doing air jumps all over to escape. And yeah, so he would attack the Hellhounds, thinking that his flame should be at least as strong as them. His body should be able to handle it, which it's not. So he would charge with the Hellhounds' 3 heads, charging up flame, and it would hit Deku. Whenever it hits him, Deku would get instantly burnt. This burnt because of this, it would be badly damaged. He would be really damaged, and all that. So whenever it's damaged, it would be able to, or he'll be damaged and he'll run at him, twirling, and he would go to strike him with the blade. With the Hellhound's breathing one breath, which would melt his blade, or not, yeah, it would melt his blade, and he would swing. And whenever he swings at him, the Hellhound would melt his blade, and the water blade would hit, evaporating. And he's like, "Oh crap, my weapons don't work against it, and now my water blades can't." That's whenever it would jump at him, and it would grow in size. And it would become a bigger wolf or hellhound. And once it becomes bigger, it would swing at Deku, knocking him down, making him bleed a lot. Deku would have to use his wind to burst himself upwards really quickly to dodge the next attack. While he's in the air, he would have said threads, swinging his threads. He would swing his threads, saying "Iron Whip," which he would connect his threads instead of leaving them outwards, actually making a metal whip. But because these are not like actual metal, they're like the organic kinds, they wouldn't melt. And he would smack it, and it would do quite a bit of damage to it. The thing would fall back saying pretty much, and it would shoot fire at the highest degree, which would start melting the ground around it, leaving scorch marks. And that's whenever it would jump. Deku would jump at it, putting more energy into he would put more energy into the blade, and this would cause a reaction of him cutting one of the heads, swinging over, cutting the other one. And Deku right now is practically doing beast mode because he's holding it back to cut it. And that's when he cut the last head with it exploding. And he would gain the energy of it. He would be strong enough to withstand the fire, but it would still burn him a little bit, not as much as it did. He would start regenerating. He would sit down for about 20 minutes and he would get back and he would chase after something. And whenever he's high enough to be from grinding for about, I'll say he goes back for several days until he can kill them instantly, he would just put traps everywhere. These are the cutting threads, and he would engulf them in flames, and his flames are already strong enough to burn the hellhounds. He will burst them in flames, pulling them, or if he does this, it would burn them completely. It will cut through them and cut them in half. And that's how you prove that he's stronger than the hellhounds now. And that's where he would just leave, he would just leave with his water sword, because he doesn't have a regular sword anymore, as I said. And all that. But yeah, he would also destroy all the fire golems, if you're wondering. And because of this, he would level up his his like his like defense is high, like the highest. Let me give you his stats. So MP, magic power, or QP is around um, QP is around level. What game should I base this off? I'm not doing Roblox because that's a QP would be around level 75. That's a pretty high level. Unless you play one of those games that goes up to like 1,000. But yeah, that'll be his level. But let me say stamina, or I'll just rank the strongest. Strength, or MP would be the second. Strength would be the first. Or I'll say no. MP would just go with stamina. So strength, stamina first. Strength second. Speed third. Actually, I'll say he's an even character. I don't know. I'm not doing the whole leveling, seeing his power, whatever. But yeah. After this, he would mark off his list to upgrade his fire. And that's where he looks for water creatures. Because he encountered one of the weakest general of the lion group. And he was completely destroyed, and he had to like shoot a water blast to the ground and escaped. So he's trying to upgrade all the abilities, and he's trying to upgrade his strength and speed, all like physical attributes, because the lions are the strongest ones, like the physically stronger ones. The wolves are the most like quirk using ones. The snake and them are just they don't have nothing special about them. I'll just say the snake's the quickest, or no, not the quickest. No, he would be the swiftest, and the spider was the hardest, giving him a lot of defense. But yeah, so that's it. So he would be building up this. He would aim for a water creature too, and he would come up with a, what should it be? What's a water creature? I'll say a sort of like a gang orca kind of thing, but instead of being humanized, it'll be a killer whale, pretty much. And this one would have the ability to shoot sound waves out of his mouth. It's pretty much Gang Orca's ability. I'm pretty sure he yells really loud, something like that. I don't know, I forget. But yeah, that he would be able to do that, the orca. And the orca, he would shoot sound waves of energy, messing with Deku's eardrums. With Deku, what he does is that he muffles it out with water around him. He does this, and it would cause him to be able to withstand a little bit of the sound, but he would still fall victim to it a little bit and all that. But and because of this, he would just go. He would shoot a water attack trying to cut it, but the thing would shoot a water. The thing would clench its mouth and open it, shooting a water blast at high speeds, hitting Deku, breaking his arm, not shattering it like it did at that one time, but breaking it in like two. Deku would regen it by snapping it and like lining up with the other bones. Lining up with them and it would heal. That's when he would take his wind and shoot Wind Blast. And the wind would cancel out with the water if he shoot big orbs of it. So that's what he would be doing. And he would kind of absorb it, but not absorb it at the same time. It's hard to explain. But yeah. So Deku would eventually overpower it after a while. Not overpower, but take it down by canceling out so many of its moves that it would lose quite a bit of stamina. And because of this, Deku would gain ability of sound waves, which would mix with his wind, which would just use to add more strength to the sounds, and this would create piercing wind, or screeching wind, I'll call it, is one of its new abilities. But all it does is make a loud noise every time he activates his wind. The last one I did that, but I made that weird accent for some reason. And because of this, Deku of course would figure out this power later on, or he would just figure it out like right then and there by using it. This is where I'll leave it off. He would just grind on that, and it would do the same thing that he did to the, Hellhounds. Just kind of killed all of the rest of them. But of course they come back every time. They're monsters. They kind of just spawn sometimes. But yeah, so this is where I leave it off. Goodbye. Can't fall. Oh my god.